Hi and welcome to our tutorial today with me, Dom Kato. This tutorial is what are the different styles of yoga? Gandhiji says that truth is one, paths are many. And yoga refers to all the different paths. There are 4 paths to yoga. You may have only heard of the first path, the path of Raja, the active path. That is where all of the different styles of yoga fall under. But there's a few variations. So the Raja path to yoga is an active style of yoga, an active way of being in a yoga practice. The Raja path is the science of controlling the body and the mind. So it's using asana and pranayama in styles like Hatha Yoga, Vinyasa, which you may have heard of, to understand yourself a little bit better. So using the physical body, using the physical practice. The main practice of Raja Yoga, which may get skipped over a lot in our everyday classes, is silent meditation. So the reason we do the physical poses and the pranayama, the breathing, is so that our bodies are strong and flexible enough to sit in silent meditation. So the aim of this Raja path, this active path, is to get flexible enough and strong in our bodies to sit in meditation. We're going to go a little bit later into all the different styles of yoga that fall under the Raja path. The next path of yoga is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is selfless service, so it's to be of service to others. It is also an active path. You are constantly doing things for others without any expectation of reward or payback or credit or anything like that. It is literally being of service to others, bringing love, compassion, and kindness into the world with your actions. This type of yoga purifies the heart and releases the ego. The next path to yoga is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the yoga of devotion. It is perfect for people that have quite an emotional constitution. Through prayer and worship and ritual, the practitioner comes to see the divine in everyone and in everything, so that the dedication, the devotion is to all beings, is to the divinity within all beings. This is the practice of Bhakti Yoga. The fourth and final path of yoga is Gyana Yoga, which is, Gyana is translated as knowledge or as wisdom. And this is also an active path to enlightenment, to yoga. It is a path of study. So it's gaining as much knowledge as you can from all of the resources that you can find. Mostly using the ancient scriptures like Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the Upanishads, the Vedas, but also turning your awareness inwards and looking at yourself. Gyana Yoga is also a practice of self-study. So it's looking into yourself, why you do the things you do, why you think the things you think. And if those things work for you, then you keep them. If not, you change them. You get to know yourself better and why you need to do things a certain way. This path of yoga helps us to understand that the divine essence of the universe, of who we truly are, resides in us and in every other being as well. Moving on to the different styles of yoga. There are many, many different styles and different traditions of yoga. I'm going to outline a few here of the most common ones. First is Hatha Yoga, or what the West calls Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga in the West has come to be known as the slow, stagnant beginner yoga. It's where somebody should start their practice with Hatha Yoga. Traditionally, Hatha Yoga covers all of the practices that we take on the Raja path to yoga, the active path. So Hatha Yoga incorporates all of the physical asana, the pranayama, the mudras, the bandhas. Hatha Yoga is all about the physical practice. Ha means sun, ta means moon, And it means balancing. Hatha Yoga is balancing the two energies, that sun and moon energy, that male and female, that light and dark, balancing these two energies within our bodies. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika is one of our most important and influential ancient yogic texts. And in there it covers everything from asana to kriyas, which are cleansing techniques, to pranayama. Everything that involves the physical body is Hatha Yoga. But the yoga you've heard of, Hatha Yoga, is the slow, steady, calming way of doing yoga. Hatha Yoga is an umbrella term for all of the physical practices. The next and most common form of yoga in the West is Vinyasa Yoga. The West has taken Vinyasa Yoga to mean linking movement with breath. That is what happens in Vinyasa flow. But Vinyasa itself means to place something in a special way. Nyasa means to place, and Vi means in a special way. So Vinyasa actually means to place something in a special way. Vinyasa flow is linking movement with breath, absolutely. It's starting the breath, then starting the movement, following both, ending the movement, and then ending the breath. So you're constantly breathing, you're never holding your breath, and linking that movement with your breath as you move. Vinyasa traditionally, as to place something in a special way, is using the asana to place your attention in a very special way, to place your concentration in a very special way, to place your focus on your breath and use your breath to move your body. That is what Vinyasa Yoga is. The next style of yoga is Jivamukti Yoga. Jivamukti is the style that I have learned, that I teach. It's got a very special place in my heart because it is a path to enlightenment through compassion for all beings. It uses all the different elements of the yoga practice so that the practitioner can become a living example of a yogi. So it's not just about what happens on the mat. It's about what happens in your heart. It's about what happens in your head with your thoughts. It's about what happens off the mat and in the world in your daily life. There's 5 tenets to Jivamukti Yoga. The first is ahimsa, which is non-violence, compassion, kindness. The second is dhyana, which is meditation, focusing your concentration, your awareness. The third is shastra, which is studying scriptures in order to study yourself, to look at yourself. The fourth is Nidra Yoga, which is the yoga of sound, the yoga of music. That is why we chant, that is why we use amazing music in our classes, and why we cultivate a beautiful tone in our voices. The last and final tenet is Bhakti, which is, as we've covered, is devotion. So it is devoting ourselves to seeing divinity in every single being. The next type of yoga is Ashtanga Yoga, which I'm sure you've heard of. Ashtanga Yoga is a beautiful practice that is very community-based. Ashtanga Yoga is named after Patanjali's 8-limbed path to enlightenment. Ashtanga itself means 8 limbs. It was started in Mysore, India by Sri K. Patabi Joyce, and he believed that the limb of asana, the asana limb to Patanjali's 8-limb path to enlightenment, needed to be mastered before any of the other limbs could be taken on board. So it's a very physical, very disciplined practice, using things like the asana, dristi, which is gaze or where you focus your eyes, vinyasa, bandhas, which are locks, energetic locks, and a daily practice, a 6-day-a-week practice to really get the practitioner to understand the physical practice and to understand their bodies. What happens in a Ashtanga Mysore practice is the practitioners arrive at the class and they start their practices themselves. So it is a self-practice, but you're in a class, you're in a community, and you have your teacher there. The teacher comes to you and tells you the sequence in which you need to practice. And you can only move on from the sequence once you've mastered that first sequence. So the teacher comes and gives you a little bit of information at a time. You master that sequence, then she comes again and gives you more information so that you master the next sequence. So it's all about making sure that you completely understand each asana, each pose, and what it does in your body. The next style of yoga is Ashtanga Yoga, started by BKS Iyengar. Him and Sri K. Patabi Joyce of Ashtanga Yoga both studied under the master Krishnamacharya, but all in India, and Sri K. Patabi Joyce and Iyengar split from Krishnamacharya's teachings and developed Ashtanga and Iyengar. Iyengar is very focused on the physical practice, on alignment is very important, on building strength and flexibility in the body, and uses a lot of props in the poses. So Iyengar encourages you to use blocks, straps, chairs, pillows, blankets, the wall, anything you need to help you achieve the pose. The practice of Ashtanga Yoga is very focused on alignment and is a very good base practice for beginner yogis to go to get that alignment correct. And it's not such a physical exertion on the body. So it is a good step to start for beginner yogis to start with Ashtanga Yoga. The next style of yoga, and one of my favorites to teach and to practice, is Restorative Yoga. Restorative Yoga is about complete rest and relaxation. So in the 60 minutes of the class, you may only take about 6 poses, and you hold those poses for 5 to 10 minutes. Again, using a lot of props, using bolsters, blocks, straps to completely support your body in the poses. It allows that parasympathetic nervous system to be stimulated so that your heart rate slows, your blood pressure is regulated, and your body is completely relaxed. Restorative yoga is known to boost the immune system and to accelerate the body's natural healing processes. So it's an amazing practice to take when you need a little bit of self-love, a little bit of self-care, to just take an hour to rest, restore, and be for a few moments. The next type of yoga is Yin Yoga. Yin comes more from the Chinese side of things than the Indian side of things. It is based on the theory of yin-yang, of the opposite concepts that together represent balance. Yin represents the stable and the passive, while yang represents the active. Yin Yoga is yoga that uses the poses in a relaxation form, but you're holding the poses for a long time, allowing the muscles to relax into those poses and go deeper into the stretches and working into the fascia of the body. The time spent holding the asana is used as a gentle and slow meditation. The next style of yoga you may have heard of is Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini means coiled like a serpent. So Kundalini Yoga is focusing on that Kundalini energy, which is an energy that sits coiled at the base of your spine. And once you release that energy using the Kundalini practices, the energy works its way up and through to your crown chakra, which brings you to enlightenment. It connects you with the divine. There are certain sequences used in particular for certain ailments or certain things that a practitioner may be battling with. So using chanting, a few asana poses, kriya and meditation, the Kundalini energy is invited to rise up through the nadis, which are energy channels, to connect your individual energy with divine or source energy. The last and final style of yoga, which I also really love and appreciate, is Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is known as yogic sleep or psychic sleep. So you lie down in Shavasana, really comfortable, pillow under your knees, blanket over you, really, really comfortable, and you come into a state between sleeping and wakefulness. The teacher takes you through different meditations, different visualizations, and your job is to stay completely present and focus 100% on the speaker's voice. Practicing Yoga Nidra involves pratyahara, which is the 5th step on Patanjali's 8-limb path to enlightenment. Pratyahara is the withdrawal of senses, so you're bringing all of your awareness in towards yourself. You are relaxing your body completely and listening to the speaker guide you through the meditations. The benefits of Yoga Nidra are obviously calming and relaxation, very calming on the nervous system, so it decreases stress, it calms the mind, it relaxes and rejuvenates the body, it soothes the nervous system, as mentioned, reduces fatigue and encourages good, proper REM sleep. It lowers the cholesterol and the blood pressure, and it strengthens your immunity. Yoga Nidra also helps to reduce pain and inflammation in the body. It boosts concentration levels, so it helps you to learn how to concentrate properly. And it supports brain functioning and boosts creativity. Yoga Nidra is used a lot in yoga therapy. It is a great tool in yoga therapy to help to heal people. Using a specific Yoga Nidra made for your ailments, for your specific type of human being, you can use Yoga Nidra almost like inception. For example, if you are suffering from back pain, you use a specific Yoga Nidra to place an idea in your mind that your back pain does not rule you, it does not control you, and you can move through the pain to once again become healthy. So it's an amazing practice of giving you the tools to heal yourself, to become more conscious of what's happening in your body, and to go deeper into your subconscious and see what's happening there. So these are a few styles of yoga and the 4 paths to yoga. If you have any questions, please pop me an email. I'd be happy to answer. There is tons of information out there. You just have to decide when you're choosing a style of yoga, which style appeals to your personality. And importantly, to find a teacher that you can trust, that you like, and that you respect. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial. Click down on the next video to learn a little bit more about the practices of yoga.